Hello, friends. It's Melody, and I am talking about Christmas, that Christmas tree anyway. My younger kids really have been asking and wanting a Christmas tree, and of course, the place that we put it is where my youngest son, he loves to play right there in that window. And if you're here, put your comment and let me know you're watching and let me know you are here. So he plays in this, he likes to play in the window, and that is the best spot in our house so that where we could put the tree. And I've been so busy doing all these other things that I am like so focused on this goal that even though they ask me to put the tree, then I was like, "Well, it's not clean." Well, and so it has caused me a lot of guilt, to be honest. And sometimes I think traditions, they haven't always felt like fun and lighthearted. They felt like they spelled guilt for me. I don't know, can anyone else relate? Does anyone else ever feel like maybe you can measure up to what your expectations of yourself were? So I have to take a big breath just to like, I started realizing that, especially today, how I put these certain expectations on myself, and maybe letting my kids partner with me more would be valuable. And right now, I have two trees actually sitting here with no lights. Either I don't, they don't have lights on them at all. And so, but they're sitting here and that's a win. And I did get the kids, different ones. I have a lot of kids over here, and I had them help me set up the tree and move some stuff around, because I don't know if anyone else's garage is like this, but with as many kids as I have, stuff just appears. And when I went to get to the boxes, or help my youngest daughter get to the boxes, she was like climbing on chairs trying to get over everything, and I didn't know if it was really safe for her. And so we had to clear out space, not only for the tree but for in the garage. And I was like, whose stuff is this? Can I just do what I want with it? So I started putting some stuff up on the free pages and things like that. But I think it's really symbolic that in order for me to get get the tree up, I had to clear a path, clear a way. And I think that it's not just that. And I also get to give grace to myself. And I think we have different expectations of ourselves. Like, I know that for me as a single mom with so many kids, I feel like it's up to me. If I'm not creating an atmosphere for my kids, they're not going to get to have a fun time. And this is their only childhood. They don't get to relive their childhood. And I don't want them to feel, a sadness or a deep resentment towards me for what they didn't get to have. I mean, I know everyone has to, forgive your parents for stuff anyway. But I really want to be intentional, is what I'm saying. And even though I haven't really felt Christmassy or in the holiday spirit, I still choose to do things that would be intentional for my kids. And like today, just out of my own little way of, I don't know if you can see, but I have, my little holiday earrings on, and I took the kids to a parade on Sunday, and we hadn't been to one in 5 years since I moved, since my son had a cancer diagnosis 2 days before Christmas. And for some reason this year it seems like it's kind of hitting me a little bit, and I felt this heaviness in my spirit and this grieving in my spirit. And I start remembering, because that year, I might get a little teary eyed, but that year, the doctor, when they diagnosed my son, they said, "This isn't the Christmas you want, but this is the Christmas you get. And your son has cancer." And that was only 2 days before Christmas. And sometimes I hear that in my head, and I know that at that time I was so determined that, oh wow, you're going to watch me not let my kids have a Christmas? Yes, they will. And think that, sometimes I get that into my spirit, and it puts a maybe an unreasonable expectation on myself to create things that is sometimes impossible. And so when I ask other people to come in on the vision to help create this environment, that it's going to help me not to be so unmanageable or so disagreeable. And one of my sons, he says, "Mom, you have an attitude, and you're giving everyone else one." And so it's like me learning how to manage how I am so that it's, contagious. Like a joy is contagious, and so is anger, sadness, whatever vibe we give off, we create that as an atmosphere. And so just to be intentional that it doesn't have to be a certain way. One year, this is kind of funny, is I was expecting with my third child, he was due like a few days after Christmas. Okay. Well, that year I had my daughter wasn't quite 3 yet, and then I had a an 18, he wasn't even 18 months yet, he was 17 months at that time, and there was no way I was gonna be able to put the tree up, put decorations on the tree, and do all that stuff, right? And so that year, I had a cradle waiting for my baby to be born at any moment, and I put a felt tree on the wall because that way I knew I wouldn't have time to be able, I didn't know when he was gonna be born. Would I be able to even take the tree down if I did get it up? And so I had to create. And so I think it's always important to be mindful too of a season that we're in and to think about being realistic. But that doesn't mean we can't create a new tradition or a new fun time or create a new special memory around it that gets to be maybe a little bit different. And so I don't know, but just working through getting the tree up has brought up a lot of emotions and feelings and contemplation for me, and not all good, and that's why I even put up on my wall. I was asking those questions, like if anyone was feeling, maybe heaviness towards the Christmas, or not feeling the Christmas spirit or the joy of the season that a lot of times feel. And I think all of us can have sense of who maybe isn't there, or memories of the past that we wish we could recreate that can no longer be, and things like that. And so it's just being intentional right now, and inviting some of those ways that we can have joy come in. And even if it's a new tradition, a new memory, a new creation that we get to create, so that we can create some lighthearted time. And maybe sometimes it's about, if we don't, if we have, I might have an extra tree. Well, I can donate to someone who doesn't have one. So it's about being generous in our spirit in different ways and in unique ways, and seeing what do we have that we can be a blessing, not only for ourselves, but towards others. And when we give, that also makes us feel better. So giving my kids the opportunity to do it and not be in control of it at all, that gives them another gift too, and allows them to know their capabilities, and that they get to create the joyful experience as well. So I am. Oh, and also, if you're not part of it's this, my Facebook community is for women. If you're not in my community, I would invite you to be a part of that. And I do have I'll put a link in the comments in a bit, and then I do have a link in my on my private Facebook page. There should be a link up in my bio to be able to be a part of that. And I am going to be tomorrow night. I'm going to host a private one-on-one, like, not, I mean, a private call where we can interact. So it's not just me talking to you, but we can interact and talk with each other. And I'll put that in there later for tomorrow night. That'll be tomorrow night. So I hope this helped you, and thank you for the comments. And let's have a great and a fun time of the year, being intentional. And it's okay if we're having heavy feelings. They're not bad, they're not wrong. We don't need to rebuke them or quiet them down. And sometimes it's just giving ourselves a safe space to allow that to come forth, and there's nothing wrong with that also. So I love y'all guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.